whatever happened to Celeste, if she met her demise in the house, they wanted to see if there was any evidence of blood anywhere in the home. So
what inspired the hook, "In the back of my mind you died," is kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died.
Wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot me. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
we know what while we don't know what they actually left with, we know from law enforcement sources what they were looking for and what they did inside the house. They were looking for blood evidence.
Okay, so I checked out his burner account, and there's this video of him cleaning shoes, and there were like Hello Kitty shoes that he was cleaning also, but he's cleaning these pair of shoes right here. This is Celeste's profile picture on Facebook, and she's wearing the exact same pair of shoes that are in that video.
That's very painful to hear, because we know that this body was dismembered, and not all parts of this body were recovered. So it would make perfect sense if they were looking to see where that dismembering happened.
The disturbing homicide case, including rising musician known as David, has only gotten worse over the last few days. This investigation has been thrown into full swing, but not by legal investigators, but by the internet. In the last few days, new photos, Discord screenshots, videos, and other data has come out about the relationship that the musician David had with the 15-year-old girl found deceased in the trunk of his Tesla. Right now, evidence is pointing towards David having some involvement with her passing, but at the moment, he has not been arrested or apprehended by the police for questioning, as they don't currently have a cause of death to solidify the situation as a homicide. But recently, the body of a deceased 15-year-old girl, who was later identified as Celeste Rivas, was found in famous musician David's Tesla vehicle near Los Angeles, California, in a tow yard after the vehicle was impounded from its original location in Hollywood Hills. The body was eventually discovered, dismembered, and severely decomposed, leading investigators to believe that the body had been in the trunk of that car for at least 5 days. This also led to the conclusion that it is likely a homicide situation, as the body was not only dismembered, but found in a bag that was deliberately placed in the trunk. Whether musician David had anything to do with the alleged murder is still unclear, though new evidence strongly suggests that he not only had a relationship with this child since she was 11 or 12 years old, but he may have played a role in not only her disappearance, but also her death. David's rise to fame began roughly 5 years ago, starting with his gaming content that he made across multiple platforms. He grew a large audience, connected with many people through Discord, and had many conversations.
Probably no. Thank you. I'm him.
Okay.
Thank you. Actually, lose him. Hold on.
No. Him.
Oh. Yeah, come on.
6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7".
This is also how he came into contact with Celeste, as far as we know so far. Based off of screenshots from his Discord, he can be seen allegedly speaking with somebody known as Celeste, who many have suggested is the same Celeste who was found dead in his vehicle. Here you can see Celeste herself being called out by David. Celeste in here, she responds, "Hi David, bark," in all caps. She also says, "I just joined, lols." Here they're discussing whether or not David has a boyfriend. This is 2 years later. The previous screenshot was from late in 2022. Ben says, "We do not need to know that about bro. I don't know. I know he never had a girlfriend, but who knows, he might have had a sneak." Ben responds, "He has a girlfriend. Pretty sure he's dating right now." Somebody asks, "What?" Ben then responds, "Yeah, her name is Celeste." And he also follows up with, "She's so pretty." Outside of his gaming, he also made music, and he was tired of DMCA strikes copyright from using music that wasn't his own, and so he started using his own music in the background of his gaming videos. This later became a big sensation on TikTok, starting with the song Here With Me. And these are just some examples of the TikToks people made using his song. This threw David straight into the mainstream, where he now has over 30 million monthly Spotify listeners, which puts him in the top 100 artists on the platform. One of David's most viral moments was also of him completely embarrassing himself as he attempted to do a backflip on stage that he had practiced multiple times before, but ended up with him lying flat on his face.
David had the most hilarious fail during his Coachella performance, because despite practicing a backflip off the stage, this happened when he tried it for real.
This became a very common internet meme that only helped to boost his fame all across the net. There are allegedly Discord messages going all the way back to 2022, when Celeste would have been roughly 12 years old. These screenshots allege that they began talking to each other through this mutual server, and that's when they became friends. It was only a few years later when Celeste would then disappear from her home, never to be seen again by her family. Now, not only are there pictures showing these two together, but there's also a live stream where Celeste can be seen very clearly in the VOD, which was requested to be deleted from his moderators.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot me. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
Now, with all the messages and pictures of them being seen, people in these mutual servers started to suspect that the relationship was building, and rightfully so, many became concerned. In fact, one individual threatened to expose the relationship, though David claimed that Celeste lied about her age, saying that she was an adult. Though many find that statement to be impossible to believe, arguing that anybody could tell the difference between a 19-year-old and a 12-year-old. The two unidentified parties in these messages exchange following words: "If he really tried to ruin your life, I will help you, bud." This individual responds, "Dude, please. Actually, Ethan, you don't know how bad this is." He responds, "Explain how bad it is then." Bro, this was a secret that wasn't supposed to get out. David didn't know how old the girl was. She was lying and saying she was 19 when he was 20. And the second he found out, he took her home. And since we were dumbass kids, we tried to blackmail him, and we really messed up. If you could keep that video up, you could ruin his life for doing nothing wrong over a girl lying. And then you could ruin my life because he would know I leaked it, and I could go to jail for like slandering him, bro. This is when the other party responds, "Pay me." As such, somebody who spoke for David in this moment asked this individual not to go public with this information, not to tell anyone, and they simply responded with "pay me." This led to David allegedly paying this person off to not speak about his relationship with Celeste. There's also a strange video that people called a burner account for David of him cleaning off some very small kid-like shoes, which people implied were likely Celeste shoes, though there is no proof or evidence of that claim.
Okay, so I checked out his burner account, and there's this video of him cleaning shoes, and there were like Hello Kitty shoes that he was cleaning also, but he's cleaning these pair of shoes right here. This is Celeste's profile picture on Facebook, and she's wearing the exact same pair of shoes that are in that video.
There's also alleged video of the two together, though this has not been confirmed by any reputable source. It is just information that the Discord has exposed, showing their relationship, as Many of these people have been knowledgeable of it for the entire duration of it and have just now come forward to expose it following her passing.
No, he would give him his number. He would give him his number.
Now, as I've already stated, we cannot confirm or corroborate that the girl shown in these videos is definitely her, though she strikingly shows a resemblance to the victim. Even within David's music, there have been a lot of red flags hinting at a relationship with someone named Celeste. In fact, there is a track where he mentions the name Celeste multiple times and a relationship, also referring to a tattoo of his name on her body, which the victim found in his trunk allegedly had that tattoo. Additionally, he released this song, Romantic Homicide, years ago now. However, it seemed to be hinting at a potential plan that he may have been considering carrying out. Now, initially, many saw this as just some artistic expression, a song about romantically killing a woman in the back of your mind, which is exactly what he explains, that this was simply just a back of the mind thought, nothing that he would actually enact himself. Though, given the current information and evidence, it's starting to look like maybe this was more than just a thought, and perhaps something that manifested in the real world.
So what inspired the hook, "In the Back of My Mind You Died," is kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I've seen people online take different meanings and interpretations from that one part of the song where it's like it's their past selves that's dying, and they're not even crying about it because they're evolved or become better people or have killed addictions and other different stuff like that. So I think it's very powerful in that way too.
Regardless, the song is quite eerie, considering that there was a body found in his trunk. And what makes this even more concerning is that another song he released, One Last Dance, in the music video, he can be seen placing what likely is a body inside the trunk of a vehicle. Now, the depiction of the body in this case was not of a woman, but of himself, which of course can still be interpreted as some artistic expression, though he was also covered in blood and blindfolded throughout this music video, creating a very, very eerie vibe, especially while being coupled with the current information about the body being found in the trunk of his vehicle. Now, while on tour, he also had this casket concept where he literally had a large white casket for his fans to leave handwritten notes for the deceased within it. It seemed that David had some strange fascination with death, which in and of itself is not criminal. It does still point to some suspicion, fantasy that many people who have killed in the past were infatuated with. There are many killers, serial killers, etc., who have killed because of some romantic or artistic fantasy that they had, which, with all of the signs pointing to this, the coffins, the placing bodies in trunks, the covering himself in blood in music videos, even bloody floral designs, it does raise some concern knowing the events that have unfolded. Celeste was reported missing multiple times in 2024. Two most notable times were in February and April. People in the neighborhood reported that she was a runaway, and often they would help her family find her. Due to the Discord messages that have surfaced, it seems that David likely met Celeste back in 2022 when she was roughly 12 years old. Celeste's own family members had stated that they believed that she in fact had some sort of relationship with someone named David, though we can't confirm whether or not they had met him. And while the singer was on tour, performing at a concert, the body was found in his trunk. on September 8th after being towed away. At his concert shortly after, he was seen handing out Labubus to people after acknowledging what had been discovered. Many are wondering if he was in fact the person to commit this heinous crime. What could have been the motivation? Why would he have done it? Some have speculated or even corroborated the possibility that Celeste was pregnant, and it's possible that he was trying to hide this relationship, considering it was vastly problematic and illegal, and also carries some potential kidnapping charges along with it. Because if he was responsible for the murder, then he was also likely responsible for the kidnapping, the reason she disappeared from her family in the first place. This is the confirmation, alleged confirmation from David himself, saying that me and @deleted_user got a kid on the way, and the deleted user, of course, is referred to as Celeste. And here's some photos from the deleted user showing the David tattoo, a ring on her finger, and also another photo that indicates them together, though it's quite difficult to discern exactly what is in the image. David was forced to cancel his tour as he became a key part of this investigation. He also lost pretty much all of his sponsors backing him as they pulled away from this, not wanting to be involved in this level of controversy or associated with someone who may come out to be not only a child predator, but also a murderer. Police have since raided his home and seized several different pieces of evidence, including hard drives from his computer, electronics, and other devices that may show information, may show proof of relationship, may show proof of knowledge, or some evidence pointing him to the center of this crime.
I got to tell you about the search at the house. We know what while we don't know what they actually left with, we know from law enforcement sources what they were looking for and what they did inside the house. You know, they were looking for blood evidence. We're told that the detectives went through the house. There was with luminol, thinking that if whatever happened to Celeste, if she met her demise in the house, they wanted to see if there was any evidence of blood anywhere in the home. So they were using luminol around the house. They were checking drains to see if there's any, blood evidence or, blood or tissue that was in the drains there. So they did a scouring of this house looking for any evidence. Again, we don't know what, if anything, they found, but our law enforcement sources say when they executed this search warrant, that was on the list, a very long list of things they were looking for in that house.
That's very painful to hear, because we know that this body was dismembered and not all parts of this body were recovered. So it would make perfect sense if they were looking to see where that dismembering happened.
As stated in the beginning of this video, he has not been arrested as of yet, as right now there is not enough evidence to pin him to the murder or to fully suspect him of committing the crime. There's nothing at the moment that places him there at the scene, or even a cause of death for investigators to go on, so this is still actively being worked on. The reactions from the internet and her family have been very one-sided. Many people believe that he kidnapped, preyed upon her, and also murdered her and placed her inside the trunk of that vehicle. While we do not have confirmation of this, it is unfortunately seeming extremely likely to be the case. Though there are still many details that are quite fuzzy, whether or not this was his own doing, whether he could have outsourced somebody else to do it, we really don't know. But all we know for certain is that they did have a relationship, and he is likely involved in this homicide. One comment from one of his YouTube videos says, "David is a narcissist who wanted someone with no past because he's insanely insecure. She was 11 when they met, and he took her from her family. Very controlling and possessive, so when she slept with another man named Gus, he lost it. She had no control. In his rage, he unalived Celeste, who was supposed to be his property. It's why he doesn't feel any remorse, lacks empathy, psycho and evil, case closed." Now obviously, this is a statement without evidence to corroborate it, but it is a powerful one that suggests the motive, the action itself, and a claim around a homicide that would put David right in the center of it as the one who enacted this heinous crime.
it.